Hello and welcome, foolish mortals. This is Emily.
And Clayton, your ghost host. And today we continue the discussion into all the things about a magical life.
Oh, I can't wait.
Last week we talked all about all the controversy, all the
hubbub.
all the discourse, all the hubbub.
Yeah.
And today we're going to be talking all the behind the scenes of getting this new attraction put together.
Some might call it R&D, research and development.
Yeah, that's what we do here at all the time at Make It Magical, research and some development. But I think without further ado, Emily, we can
make it magical.
But there's really no secret about our approach. We keep moving forward, opening up new doors, doing new things, because we're curious. And curiosity keeps leading us down new paths. We're always exploring and experimenting. We're interested in...
You ready to talk some more Walt?
Yeah.
I sure am.
Should we do some mousekeeping first?
Why not?
Some big announcements over at Destination D23.
You need to set the scene, though,
But
on
let's
what we
set
were
the
dealing
scene.
with yesterday.
Let's set the scene. The Saturday. I've been up since 4 a.m. That's not really relevant, but it kind of is relevant a little bit. I've been up since 4 a.m. I don't really know why that happened, but I was actually up since like 3:30. I don't know. Now I'm mumble jumbling. And so we decided to have a nice, easy Saturday. Of course, Emily, being
Easy like a Saturday.
being the fall fanatic that she is, has been badgering me about fall stuff.
Badgering you?
And I went for a run. I was very tired, and I'm like, oh man, I was just ready to not do anything the rest of the day. And then she's like, oh, but the decorations, the fall decorations, I want to decorate before we go, because by the time we get back and by the time I get it decorated, it'll be already midway through September. And I have to get my fall decorations out.
I need to get my fill.
So guess who had to go all the way down to the U-Haul storage unit?
You're missing a very important piece of the story here.
Emily was like, no, don't do it. Don't do it. But she was doing
you. I said, it's okay.
She was doing that thing where she's like, no, don't go.
No, I wasn't. I was being genuine. I said, it's okay. I will survive. I can wait. You're tired. You don't have to give me those boxes. Stop.
Everything was crossed.
No.
It's fine.
It is fall in the Make a Magical household, and it is glorious.
She's decorated.
If you're newer to the show, fall is my absolutely favorite time of year. Halloween is my favorite holiday. So this is where my soul comes alive. I thrive.
And
I'm alive and I'm thriving.
I took this out on Emily later because I took a nap on the couch.
Can you take multiple naps on the couch throughout the day?
There was only one nap, but there was a potential for another, but it never happened because I was called upstairs very urgently to come help Emily and my father-in-law try to fix the washing machine, clothes washing machine. Emily decided we were just, doing a lazy Saturday. She's like, I'll get some laundry done while I'm sitting up here watching some TV.
Might as well.
And washing machine broke. And Emily had to hand wash all of the sopping wet clothes that were sitting in that washing machine because it broke mid-cycle, basically, which is always perfect time for a washing machine to break.
Always fun when your clothes are dripping wet,
so
as if you just got off Splash Mountain.
I'm sure me and my father-in-law bickering at each other on how to
and that's pretty funny.
On what we were doing probably maybe helped a little bit. It maybe didn't help a little bit, but we were in rare form, me and my father-in-law, which is...
That's your rare form. It's like you on the daily with each other.
Well, maybe that. So then, so Emily was real down in the dumps. So that was that really put a damper on her Saturday.
I was basically hand washing for like 3 hours.
So not a great way to end the Saturday until she comes sprinting downstairs and jumps on me while I'm on the couch.
I did not jump on you. I just stood there with my jaw agape.
Yeah, there was
eyes wide.
Big news in the Disney sphere that was announced yesterday. We had specifically 2 announcements that Emily was very excited about. We get a new Leslie Iwerks documentary coming.
Oh my gosh. I can't wait. All about Disneyland. It's basically, I said to Clayton, it's basically like our Building Disneyland series that we did way long ago, but in documentary form. Oh, I can't wait.
Isn't technically our Building Disneyland like a documentary technically? Just
podcast. You wary.
So
what would be the podcast term for that?
I don't know. So there's a new documentary coming with a bunch of non-seen,
never before seen
video footage captured during the building of Disneyland. Emily's just geeking out over here.
I can't wait. Coming this winter. Oh my gosh, I can't wait.
So we all are going to have some announcements later associated with said announcement. We're gonna build some. We're gonna.
What are you getting
she's
at?
stealing our thunder a little bit, Leslie, but I don't really think.
She's motivating me to do some other things with the podcast. Let's just leave it at that.
So the other big news is actually
my girl Leslie
is actually related to what we're talking about today. Walt's coming to the Magic Kingdom, everybody. You're about to see him in a blue cardigan. There's the famous footage of them getting ready for Carousel of Progress. He's wearing a blue cardigan. I literally just used this blue cardigan. Okay, are you talking about the thing that I figured out?
The fun fact, yes.
I get fancy a little bit when we do these shows.
You get fancy.
And I used a little bit of the footage from some of the behind the scenes of the making of the Carousel of Progress.
If you're watching on YouTube,
that is.
Make sure to subscribe, by the way. I know sometimes people might be watching, but they never subscribe. I'm guilty of that myself as a YouTube user. So check right now, subscribe so you don't miss future episodes. Proceed. I'm so excited.
And so I was watching it and I found out there's the famous clip, which is actually used in the Imagineering story, of a man in what looks to be some kind of electrical chair device.
Contraption.
Looks like he's about to get electrocuted on the chair, and he's
doing
some movements. That's Wathel Rogers, who's actually doing all the motion capture for what will become the father in the Carousel of Progress. Fun fact. I never knew it was Wathel Rogers.
Hey, you walked in the room, and you're like, did you know this? I'm like, I did.
Right now, I also don't think I could tell you what Wathel Rogers also did in the
Give us
Disney
a nice
company.
biography on him.
I actually can't. Now that I think about it, now I can't. So there will be a new Walt, which is actually something we talked about last week. As a rumor.
This is how I started this news to you. I said, Clayton, literally just talked about this last week. So this makes me feel better that when I am talking about rumors, there's actually some truth in them. I'm not just like getting it. So let's show. So when I do get rumors from certain places that I trust.
Humble brag by Emily right now.
No, I'm just saying. I'm glad that the channels I watch, like WDWNT,
they're not making stuff
Mickey
up.
Views, usually they have some inside scoop. And when they're saying these are the rumors, it's not just a bunch of hooey.
Not a bunch of hooey.
Not a bunch of hooey, dewey, and Louie.
Oh my goodness. Okay. So that was our Saturday.
But Walt Animatronic coming to the Magic Kingdom. This is only fitting, everybody, to the intro of Carousel of Progress. And that means they're also going to update Carousel of Progress, give it a new facelift, put some money into that baby. Oh, I'm so excited.
Emily was like, it's Destination D23. They don't really announce park stuff here. It's more like, this is what's coming in the studio. There's going to be some history talks. I went for my run and she came back at me, Exitensio this, Exitensio, Exitensio.
There's an Exitensio book coming out in November.
We have enough Disney books.
Exitensio.
Should I pan the camera over to the Disney bookshelf? Pretty soon you're going to make me find room for all the board games that we have that we don't play. We don't play any of these board games.
What was I going to say? No, for Destination D23, there's a lot of, negative Nellies out there. We're like, well, what's the point in this? It's like Destination D23 is mostly meant to be a learning type of event where you can learn about Disney history. It's presentations more so rather than being big news dropping things. So if they still give some bombs of news, then great. They don't need to. And they did. I was like, I don't even need to hear anymore. Just the fact that Walt's coming to Carousel Progress. He's now sharing the building at Disneyland with a 1964 New York World's Fair project, Great Moments with Mr. Lincoln. And now the other attraction that was at the World's Fair in Magic Kingdom, the Carousel Progress. Now Walt's going to share the stage with that. And that is one of the projects he was most passionate about in all of his career as far as attractions go. So this is the greatest news ever. I am so excited.
Me too.
If you're excited too,
Ditto.
Don't let the negative comments, because I've already seen them. I've seen them. I'm ignoring them. Don't let that damper your excitement for it. It's okay if no, it's okay.
What's
People
negative?
are like, hopefully it doesn't look like the one in Disneyland. Which we'll get into all of that next week when we talk about our thoughts on the Disneyland show. So that's all I have to say. You're entitled to your opinion. If you're not excited about, that's fine. If you're very excited, don't let the opinions of others ruin it for you.
Emily's using the words negative Nellies on the podcast. She was saying some other things last night.
What? No, I don't have like a sailor mouth.
Oh, that's right. That's me. That was me and your father-in-law. As I'm trying to get a hose out of a thing, cutting my thing, and he's like, "You're not doing it right." I'm like, "You're not behind it here. What are you talking about?" So that was my Saturday night.
Anywho, this is a very long mousekeeping.
Yes. Nothing else. As this is literally releases, we're heading down 5. We're on the open road. We're driving down to Disneyland. Something that people weren't even sure that people would want to go drive 40 miles. That's mentioned in the documentary
We will gladly
trailer.
drive more than 5 hours to go
And
there.
it's like people aren't going to drive 30, 40 miles to go to Disneyland, and meanwhile about to get in the car and drive 350 to go there. We're like, oh, great.
Heck yes.
On the most boring road, and one of the most boring roads,
But
at least in all of California.
It's not boring when we do it together, right? That's still one of your favorite memories, isn't it? Our first drive ever down to Disneyland.
Yes, it is. But it's as time has gone on, it's mostly me against all the semis. And then when Emily inevitably has to stop to go to the bathroom, I'm just watching all those semis, all that work I just did, inevitably repass me going back down the road.
It's a game of tag. Tag, you're it.
Yeah, well, it's not a game I like to play. Nothing else. We're in Disneyland. We're practically there.
We'll be driving as you're listening to this.
We'll be
probably.
driving as you're listening to this. We'll be doing running, and then we'll be coming back. And
we'll be doing some Haunted Mansion holiday. Heck yes.
Yeah,
Can't
so all
wait.
those things. So
Probably seeing the Walt show again.
Emily's like,
I don't know.
yeah.
Oh, we'll see where it takes us.
Yeah,
Maybe
Emily's like,
twice.
there's Halloween treats we got to
Two
eat.
times?
Yada, yada,
4
yada.
times?
Okay, before we get started again, if you're on the YouTube side, like, comment, subscribe. We're up to 75 subscribers. It's a quarter century, everybody. This is big news. That's big. We're almost there.
Thank you to
Triple digits.
Thank you to everyone.
So
That's
we
the subscribe button.
yeah.
Each and every one, it honestly does mean a great deal. I say this to Clay, and it's like, if you compare our channel to a majority of other channels, we're like itty bitty teeny tiny, but I really don't care when I think about I'm like 75. That's so exciting. So it does mean everything to us. Each and every one of you do count here. You're very valued. So thank you for tuning in.
Speaking of last little plug, so I did notice that there was a Park Hop Tees package that arrived at the door the other day.
Astute there, Clayton.
Oh, what happened to be in said package?
Well, I'm glad you asked because they've launched a whole boatload of Halloween tees, Disney inspired, of course. I'm going to be wearing some of those babies while we're in the parks.
You don't say.
I do.
Well, if you want to get your Park Hop tees, you could use our code.
MagicalPod20, all caps, MagicalPod20.
I'm wearing my favorite Walt shirt today.
Walton Shades, that's right.
It seems relevant. I did wear it last week, but I do wear
It's like your
different
favorite
shirts.
one, isn't it?
It is my favorite shirt. Ooh, are you okay? I'll have to take it off as soon as we're done here because we don't have a washing machine.
I can hand wash it technically.
I don't want to put you
I can
through all
do
that.
it. Walt's
drama.
worth it.
I'm gonna take
Walt's
them off.
worth all the
See,
handiwork.
that's where being kind of not to be gross, but I can literally take it off. It's still technically clean. Just wearing it in this room.
Okay.
It's not dirty.
TMI.
Not dirty. Emily would be like, I have to wash this shirt. It's dirty. I'm like, no, it technically isn't.
Okay.
Okay. That might be what's known
How
as being a
about
man or something.
let's tally ho on this.
Yeah, let's tally ho into what would Walt do.
This is actually a quote from Walt this week. You know, there's a lot of satisfaction in developing ideas into reality, but there's really no secret to our approach. We keep moving forward, opening up new doors, doing new things because we're curious. And curiosity keeps leading us down new paths. We're always exploring and experimenting. We're interested in doing things that are fun and bringing pleasure and especially laughter to people. Isn't that just great? What do you think of that quote there, Clayton?
What I'm about to say is gonna. I got the tingles.
You have goosebumps. Oh, by the way, speaking of this, relating back to Mousekeeping, when we watched the trailer, what's it called? Disneyland Handcrafted? Is that the name of the documentary?
That's what it's called. Yes.
When we watched the trailer, Clayton got goosebumps. Oh,
this is the famous quote. You hear this quote used a lot. We keep moving forward. I got like literally have it playing in his voice
quote.
In my head. So.
Yes.
All right. Well, let's get into today. We're talking again the behind the scenes, all the work it took to make this thing a reality.
Yeah. How did Walt Disney A Magical Life come to be? Well, let's start here because a big concern
Yeah.
when they announced this. They said it was going to be housed in the Opera
Emily
House
was like,
on
how
Main
is this going to
Street.
work? I remember very clearly. She's like, what do you mean there's going to be a Walt animatronic? What do you mean it's going to be in the Opera
You're
House?
like, what do you mean?
What do you mean? What do I mean? What do I mean? Well, let's talk about it. This new Walt show would be housed in none other than the Opera House, a building that holds a great deal of Disneyland history.
Sure does. Is that funny?
I remember when I wish they brought the big map back though. I know it's kind of like a
Gotta
rotating
go to
thing.
the other coast to see
I
it.
remember when we were in that, and Emily's like, "Oh, that's where they took this big map."
In one man's dream in Hollywood Studios.
Yeah, we'll ship
it's
it
a
back over here.
fantastic map.
Yeah, ship it back over here.
Well,
Belongs
right
here.
now in that space, it's being used to show
I know.
things from Walt's apartment, actually authentic artifacts.
Excuse me. The
Yes,
Opera House.
excuse you.
Talking about building Disneyland, the Opera House actually, we talked about this during building Disneyland. It actually acted as a lumber mill when Disneyland was first being built, and is the first building ever built at Disneyland.
That is
As
correct.
such, and this has housed countless historical exhibits. It's Emily's favorite building in the entire thing,
I
besides the
love a
Haunted
good
Mansion.
exhibit.
It's a very special place, and you can feel just like you can just feel that aura as you walk into the building. You see the green bench behind those velvet ropes. There's a peanut popcorn stand thing next to it.
One of the horses from the carousel.
Emily just walks in there and she's just like, feel it. I feel the power.
The magic. It's here.
I feel the magic.
And don't worry, the famous bench that is taken from Griffith Park, where Walt got the idea to first build Disneyland, it is still there in the Opera House. It's the first thing you see as soon as you walk through those
Can't
front
sit on
doors.
that one though. But you can sit on the one if you go to the Walt Disney Family Museum.
Very
Just
true.
FYI.
Go visit there. We are not sponsored by them. It seems like we should be because we name drop them every episode.
Now, this was very concerning. Emily was like, "What do you mean it's going to go in the Opera House? What do you talk? What do you mean? What do you mean?" Because the first question on many Disney park history fans, just park history fans, not like some of the normal fans, just the park history
Yeah,
fans.
so this
like
was a question on your mind.
like
'cause
this
you're-
wackadoo next to me.
You're an insane
Yeah.
Disney Parks fan, right?
Emily told me that this thing was coming, and I was like, not this thing, but the stuff from last night. And I'm like, oh, that's cool. And she's like,
To Carousel Progress.
yeah, she's like, more. Give me more excitement, please. I'm like, it's cool. It's fun. She's like,
I need the emotion.
you're not
I was
You're not on my
crying.
level. Yeah, she's
I was
like
crying because I went from being such a bad mood from doing laundry by hand
so-
for 3 hours.
She's sobbing next to me, and I'm like watching anime, and I'm like, that's cool.
And I was like, do you see in this concept art all the things in the background behind Walt? Oh my gosh, that's there. The Lincoln head's there. Oh, ooh, ah.
And this was
Epcot concept art.
this was what
like Walt's original Epcot, where it's going to be a city. Oh,
Emily was going through all that emotion. And I was trying to watch my guy building a $13,000 bike I'll never be able to own. Bicycle, like with, I was like, oh, this is so cool. There's something just.
yeah, I was wondering if you heard that.
So a lot of what was on Disney Park History fans was like, are they going to get rid of England? Are they going or Lincoln? Are they going to get rid of Lincoln? Are they just going to throw him in the old
Hello?
waste management bin back behind?
Lincoln.
Yeah. Thankfully, no, the creative team made the best possible choice in that after the Walt Show initial run, the Opera House will welcome back great moments with Mr. Lincoln
With open arms.
and have it play in rotation, literally in rotation with Walt Disney. I say literally
Yeah,
because
you were correct.
they're
Literally.
literally going to
That's what's
rotate
happen.
between the back and forth. So, but how would they be able to do this? Well, they're literally going to rotate back and forth. It was especially important to the team that this Walt Show be a permanent feature going forward, but not to let it take over the legacy of Lincoln. Yeah, I got to get my two brothers fixed when I go to Disneyland.
My dad's very concerned because I've obviously talked. He's very into Disneyland park history and Walt Disney as a whole.
Yes.
So I was telling him my thoughts on the Walt Animatronic. I'm like, you gotta go see this thing. It's so cool. And he's like, so what about Lincoln? Like, he loves great moments with Mr. Lincoln. So I can vouch on all of these thoughts. He was quite concerned. Like, when is he coming back? What are they doing with him? Like, don't worry. He'll come back. He's safe.
They threw him in a waste management bin.
No.
So Lincoln is such a pivotal and incredibly important animatronic show to the Disneyland history and to the Disney company as a whole. So they simply couldn't get rid of it. They decided to add to the space. To do this, Imagineering installed a turntable.
You know what my first thought is?
Yeah.
Has nothing to do with Disney, but I'm thinking of Young Frankenstein. Put Kendall, back.
Oh,
It's like, okay, it's Lincoln's turn.
Emily is in fall mode when she's
I know.
when she's quoting Young
Kind of
Frankenstein.
like a turntable like that.
Yeah.
Put the candle back.
The turntable that's now built into the stage, so the shows can literally take turns playing. Something that shouldn't be ignored is just how much of a feat of engineering this turntable was for engineering.
I thought this is so
it's not just
cool.
like throwing a vinyl record on a turntable. It's like, they got to build it all up. So think about it. They would have to get this entirely new stage inside the Opera House for installation. That's not a big building. I don't know.
Well, it is a big building, but here's where the tricky part comes into play.
And they can't go through the back doors because there is no back door. So they can only go through the double front doors. And I've been
where
through
the
those.
Walt bench is.
Yeah, and that's not a big double front door. It's not like they have a double door,
What?
I don't know.
I'm just thinking about In-N-Out double.
Yeah. This is such an old building that it's not like there's a special back entrance or anything that would make this easier. The only way around it would be blowing out a part of the building for the installation. Wile E. Coyote's got some TNT ready to go.
You rascally wabbit.
However,
the rabbit.
Yeah. However, they didn't do that. Excuse me. Emily's trying to.
This is a very special kind of energy in this room today.
I can't even read. The letters are jumping around.
They're so excited about all this Walt stuff.
So rather, I'm like completely. Completely lost
they did
here.
not blow out the back wall. Warner Brothers, Looney Tunes, a la style.
So rather, at Imagineering, the entire turntable was constructed in such a way that it could be easily broken down into smaller pieces for transport through the open Opera House double doors and then reassembled once inside the theater space. A true engineering achievement.
That's impressive.
Yes. We haven't received the full details on operational logistics once both shows are running. My hope, and this is Emily
this is your
speaking
hope?
through me, is that they will literally take turns throughout the day. So you need a nice midday break. I know that feeling. It can be quite hot in Anaheim throughout the middle of the summer.
People in Florida are like, hold my, what's a good Disney drink? Hold my fuzzy tauntaun.
You can't get those out. What? First off, wait, what? That doesn't make any sense.
Because you said it's hot in Anaheim.
Yeah, but wouldn't they be like, hold my pineapple whip float?
You say hold my beer, so I was trying to think of
but
a drink.
But you can't get alcoholic beverages in Magic Kingdom. Well, you can,
It's
but
hot
not
in Hollywood Studios.
Yeah, but Hollywood Studios is a different park. I don't know.
It's still Disney World.
I thought you would have gone with like pineapple whip float or something.
Okay. My pineapple whip float.
What's that one cream float thing you're always trying to get that they're always closed whenever we try to go over there?
I think they got rid of it. So I could have gotten it the time we were there, but the booth closed early in Adventureland.
And
now they took it off the menu.
What was it?
What's the name of it? People will know. It's
People will know.
In Adventureland,
do a good job.
Get a swirl, so it'd be vanilla soft serve mixed with like almost an orange freeze. So it's a creamsicle, but it feels like frozen orange juice.
Do they do like an orange Julius back there? Or is that? Can I get like a?
That's basically what I mean.
Well, can I just get an orange Julius? Just
I
like
don't think so.
Oh, I had to get some. Yeah.
I mean, the orange bird's on the wall of that booth.
Yeah, like a frozen orange icy.
Yeah. Doesn't that sound delicious?
Yeah.
And we couldn't get it. And now it's off the menu. Bring it back, Disney. You're on a roll with some of these decisions. Bring back. There's a name for it. I should know this. Maybe I guess I should know it because I couldn't order it. So.
Okay. Back to our nice midday break. So you need a break from the crowds.
Hold my fuzzy tauntaun.
You need a break from the crowds. You need a break from the heat. Heat is relative. We get it. Florida, it's hot. That's fine. Maybe you walk first and you're like walking through Main Street. You're like, oh, look at all this ambiance. You're looking at the windows. You're like, you know what? I'm going to stop at the churro cart that's at the end of Main Street, just in front of the train station, right there on the end, right next to the flagpole. And you're
my
like,
stomach's about to grumble
I'm going to get myself a nice sugary churro.
Churro?
I'm going to
this cheer me up churro?
Yeah, no, a sugary churro. No.
I was like, whoa, that came out of your mouth. Then a cheery churro.
You eat said churro and then you go into, because no food or drinks in the Walt show or the Lincoln show. Then you go in.
So you could just eat your churro while staring at the beautiful marquee outside the Opera House.
And you could literally watch Great Moments with Mr. Lincoln and then technically come out and then walk all the way back around and watch literally A Magical Life with Walt Disney.
Back to back, let's do a double feature format. I would love that. I'd be all for. I mean, I did that with Walt Disney and Magical Life. I did a double feature. If we did back to back, I did back to back showings.
Yes.
You met up with me once I got out, and you're like, "Do you want to see it again?" Like, no, it's okay. Like, let's go see it again. I'm like, all right, you talked me into it.
Emily certainly finds this poetic that Walt now will share the stage with Lincoln, considering what Lincoln meant to Walt and the company.
But don't worry, we'll get more into all of that in a later section in today's episode.
So let's talk about the intent of the project, which we did, technically
a little
cover
bit.
about.
We'll talk more about it now.
But
though.
why pursue this now? When this project was officially announced at 2024 D23 Expo, Josh Tomorrow said, creating our first Walt figure is an idea that had been whispered in the hallowed halls of Imagineering for years, not if decades. We just had to wait for innovation to catch up with our dreams, and we're finally ready.
And I've been ready for a long time.
Emily was
I've always been ready.
Emily at this official time was bawling her eyes out. While nothing has been confirmed or executed until now, the idea to honor Walt in animatronic form has been floated around Imagineering for quite some time, but they were never really quite ready. Senior creative executive at WDI, Tom Fitzgerald.
You're going to hear his name a lot in today's episode. So
I know.
Get ready.
I know what Tom looks like. I think Tom
There's
Fitzgerald.
a photo of him later on.
Yeah, he's in the Imagineering story a lot. It was revealed on July 17th, 2018, that him and...
Does that date sound a little familiar? Does that hold any kind of importance? July 17th?
The opening day of Disneyland.
Yeah, so even more poetic, Tom.
Come on, you're going to try to get one by this guy? Come on now.
Oh, Clayton, you and your knowledge, it's so impressive.
You really need to come up to my level on the Disney history knowledge.
I aspire to be like you, Clayton.
You're giving us a bad name with how little you know about Disney history in comparison to me.
All right, I guess I better hit the books.
Yeah, you better. I don't want to see you come out of this room until you know it all.
You need to walk out of this room and be able to spout 100 Disney facts.
I'll be downstairs watching some anime, so just let me know when you're ready.
I was spouting Exotensio facts to you yesterday.
I can't watch Emily when Emily's near or in the room with me. It gives her anxiety.
Anime?
All the screaming, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I realized. It's not like I dislike anime. I just finally realized why I can't watch it. My heart rate immediately goes up because there's so much screaming in the show. At least the shows you watch.
That's the problem.
I like Spirited Away. I like calmer movies for Studio Ghibli films because they're like nice and mellow.
Yeah.
They're adventures, but they're mellow. They're not screaming.
I don't really watch any of the mellow anime series. I watch
mellow anime.
I watch all the series with all the yellings.
Wait, how did we get here?
I don't know.
How are we talking about this?
Because when we're literally done here recording,
welcome to Make It Magical,
I'm gonna
we sidetrack a lot.
I'm gonna watch anime. So revealed on July 17th, 2018, that him and Jeff Shaver Moskowitz, who we mentioned last week, who's executive portfolio producer at WDI, actually.
So the two of them, it seems like they're the head people on this project.
I see. They actually went to Walt's office. Cheaters, how'd you get in there? You can't just get in there willy nilly. With the project already in mind.
Yes. So all the way back in 2018, they had envisioned this show and were starting to think about it.
Emily's just like, now I just need to get a job at WDI and I got to become an executive. That way I could be like, hey, you know what? I got to go into Walt's office for
just stare at it longingly.
Inspiration or something. So, okay, now that we've talked about the origins, let's talk about the intent,
the foundation,
the purpose, the inspiration behind this.
Dig a little deeper.
So why? We keep asking ourselves this question. Why build an animatronic Walt? Why is now?
Well, Clayton's going to tell you why.
Time. If he can figure out how to read words. He's not been doing really well today. Imagineering said this was an effort to teach guests about the real man. It's learning who Walt Disney actually was from none other than himself to inspire future generations. Brian Orr, who's show systems studio executive at Walt Disney Imagineering. That's quite the title.
That is.
I would love to see. I mean, I work in corporate America.
All the titles for everyone in Imagineering.
Yeah. So I work in corporate America. So I know what the corporate America directory tree looks like and the leader this and director that and then that. Yeah. I can't imagine what it is at WDI.
I think anyone that works in Imagineering, when you say your official job title, it's going to be impressive no matter what.
Yeah. I work in Imagineering. I was like, oh, tell me more.
Please tell me more.
Oh, you just get coffee? I don't care. Tell me more.
I need to know everything. Still.
That's not belittling to any coffee delivery people. That's the only thing that came to mind. Coffee's on the brain. I actually need a coffee.
It's
what am I
literally
talking
saying I'm interested in everything because, part of Disney and even like the parks, I would like to talk to anyone that works there because I love hearing about their experiences. Every role is important, and that's what Walt Disney believed. That's why they're all called cast members. Boom, baby.
Oh, sorry. 2-finger point. Excuse me.
Oh, boom, baby. Excuse us.
Okay, where were we? Brian Orr, show systems studio executive at
You just wanted to say that
WDI,
again,
who is responsible, get this, for audio animatronic design and production for all Disney parks and experiences.
Oh, man. What a great job.
Added that fans of Walt Disney in some form or fashion have the idea of Walt iconically in their head. Emily's inside her head voice is just in Walt Disney's voice.
That's my voice that I hear is Walt Disney?
Yeah.
When I'm just thinking about all the fall activities I want to do.
Probably.
Hey, it would work.
You know how I know that you have it inside the head voice?
Voice head.
Because you're like a ball of anxiety. So I know that you're up there in your head just like anxiety, basically.
So it's basically anxiety from Inside Out 2, but in Walt's voice.
Yeah. Emily.
Not wrong.
Emily,
Not wrong.
Emily, when we watched Inside Out, what did I just say?
Inside 2.
Inside 2. Give this man a coffee stat.
Someone inject him with caffeine immediately.
When she saw Inside Out 2. She's like, this is a little too real for me.
Like, I feel called out.
Okay, can he do it? Audio animatronics are not only quintessential. I skipped several lines.
Okay, let's start at the beginning of his quote. Fans of Walt Disney in some form or fashion have the idea of Walt iconically in their head. Our job is to make sure Walt feels believable and connects with the audience, as he's done with so many people across the world.
Yeah.
There you go. You're caught up now.
I'm caught up now. I need to go get myself a coffee, like literally. Designing a Walt Disney audio animatronic.
You got this.
I'm slowly losing my mind. Walt Disney audio animatronic figure simultaneously highlights to the company's heritage and its innovative future. Audio animatronics are not only quintessential Disney technology, but also core to our Disney DNA, Orr said. To the team at Imagineering, this just felt right and needed in the park, in Walt's park.
Yeah. To me, this is the perfect place to have the first Walt Disney animatronic, and I will gladly take more. Think where they're putting it, now expanding into Walt Disney World, that is also the perfect spot for it.
The museum's executive director, Kristen Komorowski, said,
Walt Disney Family Museum.
Excuse me. We are enthusiastic about and grateful for the company's efforts to create this exciting new attraction that will allow people to experience Walt Disney, the man behind the magic. Tom Fitzgerald said, so much of Walt's philosophy is timeless and as valid today as it was in his lifetime. We wanted to show the story and to appeal to all ages. And while some of our younger audiences may not know as much about Walt Disney, we felt his story could be inspirational to them. Follow your dreams, turn setbacks into success, never give up, and give the world your very, very best.
Oh, I love that.
Now let's talk about the details.
So I do just want to stop here. I think this might be a good point to relate back to last week's episode where we discussed, are they trying to monetize Walt Disney?
Okey-dokey.
To which we can add on to this. Looking at the intent behind this project, no matter what people may have felt towards it, whether it's the right decision or not, these are just my feelings when I look at there had a clearly an intention behind why they wanted to do this. It wasn't just about, oh, this will draw a bunch of people in, we can charge for lightning lanes or make this the big showstopper. There's clearly a respect being paid. They had a purpose for why they're bringing Walt into the parks as a way to teach new generations who may not know much about him. They may know or have heard of Walt Disney, but not so much the story behind him and that he was actually a person, not so much a character, and humanize him in a way.
Yeah.
There's very much that is baked all throughout this entire project. A lot of care was put into this. So to me, if that's what you're going in with this, those are your intentions, then I'm all for it.
110%, Emily. I couldn't agree more. Ditto. You said it perfect.
Yep.
You said it best. I couldn't even add more.
Oh, boy.
So let me try to read some more words. Research and development.
Try to read words.
So this is all the details. And as Emily always says,
the deets.
that's not what you said.
Oh, what do I say?
The details matter.
Oh, they do matter.
I mean,
yes.
what are you?
Of course they matter.
What are you even doing over here if you don't know your own catchphrase?
The details matter.
Yeah,
That's my quote.
that is
If you
your
want to
quote.
do what would Emily do? The details matter.
Creating an audio animatronic figure of Walt Disney is an enormous responsibility and one that we are taking incredibly seriously, said a Disneyland spokesperson.
I tried my best to figure out who this was from. I found this in many sources and it always just said a Disneyland spokesperson, but I thought this was a great quote.
We are bringing the same care, research, and respect to Walt Disney as Walt himself did when he advanced the technology he pioneered by creating the Abraham Lincoln figure for the 1964 New York World's Fair, an event that will live rent-free in Emily's head because of what it means to her and the thing that she loves most in this world, Disneyland.
And it's one of the things I love most, but you are the thing I love most.
One of the things, huh?
If anyone wanted to know, this entire week between recording last week's episode, that's been the running joke. Clayton, when he left for work, he'd be like, goodbye, the thing I love most in this world, even though I'm only one of your favorite loves.
I used it all week. I used it even to get myself out of trouble once because I got myself in trouble. I even used it to get myself out of trouble. I cracked a smile on those
It's like
pearly
your get out of
whites.
jail free card. You should just have a bunch printed and hand them.
I got her right out of the depths. No longer as mad at me when I busted out. It's all about the delivery. It's all about the delivery.
Is.
Where was I? And ultimately, so the figure for the 1964 World's Fair and ultimately great moments with Mr. Lincoln at the Disneyland Resort. We continue to push the art form and technology in every way possible to ensure that this tribute is done right. This is again nameless Disneyland spokesperson.
But a great point made, nevertheless.
Tom Fitzgerald noted that Imagineers took great care through and through when it came to creating an audio animatronic figure that could capture Walt's very essence. He said, "We've created so many audio animatronics." What do you think the over-under of how many more times I got to say audio animatronics?
I was just short to animatronics. That's fine.
Figures over the years from pirates to presidents, but to create a figure of Walt Disney is an honor and a challenge. How can we create a lifelike impression of him with the nuances that made him unique in person? Twinkle in his eye, his expressive face, the eyebrows. And in that way, he used his hands to punctuate his thoughts and ideas. Emily's like, look at the hands.
Why did you raise your eyebrow when you said those eyebrows?
Make sure to look at those hands. Make sure to look at the hands when you're there. He does things with his hands.
Raise the eyebrow. Can you do this like patting your head and rubbing your tummy? Raise your eyebrow and then do the 2-finger point. I can do it.
They wanted to get the details of Walt as accurate as possible, so they worked closely and tirelessly with the Walt Disney Archives, Emily's dream job.
Love the
They did all
archives.
the homework that was humanly possible. I'm sure they could have done more if they employed this person.
And I would gladly do it.
And took every step in this animatronics development very seriously. Imagineers dug through archival photos and videos, talked to people that knew him, and used a cast of his hands. Look at those hands. For the animatronic to make it authentic and true to Walt. Tom Fitzgerald said, "We scoured.
Wow, that broke you.
Scoured. Gosh. Is this one of those things that people say humanizes me?
Yes, very much.
Not the fact that I have
This is the man Clayton, if you're wondering. The man behind Make It Magical.
not the fact that I have a
Just like you,
inability to fall
he
asleep
sometimes
anymore.
has trouble with words.
Yeah.
And just like me, my stomach sounds like
Thank
Winnie
goodness.
the Pooh right
We're
now.
falling apart.
This literally feels like the
Yeah.
Winnie the Pooh from 2011.
We don't eat for another hour
where
usually.
Steph was
What's
like,
going on over there? Yeah.
That's my stomach right now.
We scoured through his speeches and documents to find the words that would bring him to life in a way that would feel as if we dropped into his office for a chat. Our hope is that the end result will give guests the best sense of Walt in his engaging and warm personality.
Yes, I do really love that they tried to find things within his own actual words to make that his own personal monologue. Actually use what he said in recordings, figure out what would work the best, do the research to make it feel as authentic as they possibly could.
Yeah. I think probably what in the Carousel Progress one, they're probably going to just use that whole clip of him talking in that cardigan probably
that'd
for
be
that.
perfect.
That makes a lot of sense, huh?
That's also another thing I love. It's not just copy and pasting what they've done at Disneyland. They're going to make it special and unique to the Magic Kingdom. I think that's a wonderful thing.
The best thing that we got over here is we got a tie. And if you know Walt Disney and you know his ties like I do, that means one thing and one thing only. Those things are going to be personally
3 letters for
stitched
you.
with the letters STR, otherwise known for Smoke Tree Ranch. Right? I say Rants? I think I'm slowly losing my mind. Oh my goodness.
Too.
I'm going to go get a coffee as soon as this is done. You can see this on the partner statue. Actually, if you can get close enough, you got to fight those photo people off, the photo pass people off with a stick to be able to get up there.
They're just doing their job.
Of course, I saw when I went and did the Walt Disney Studio Animation Studio Tour.
Walt Disney Studio Tour in Burbank. You get to get up close. You can touch the statue.
You don't want to touch it because it's 1,000 billion
you will
degrees.
burn your hand off.
If it's hot.
And you can get a close-up look of what else, Clayton?
That Claddagh ring.
Yes, on Walt's hand.
I don't know if that's how you say that.
Claddagh. You didn't talk about all these photos. So they really did work to replicate the type of attire Walt wore in that frame in his life. They hand-stitched many different STR duplicates because they, of course, need some backups of his wardrobe. So yeah, they really tried to get the details down right. And as I apparently say, the details matter.
So let's talk some innovations, though. In addition to keeping Walt's spirit alive and informing the public of the man that started it all, Imagineering had this huge goal when they went into this project. They fully went in to push the boundaries of both the art form and tech behind animatronics in every way imaginable to capture Walt's likeness and mannerisms. Now, whenever I say animatronic, people are thinking I'm not saying audio animatronic because you gave me permission, but in the script, it literally just says animatronic. So I'm not being lazy. It's just that's what the script says.
You're like, blame Emily.
People might be thinking that I'm lazy.
I don't think anyone cares.
Well, you care when I miss a sentence.
I literally said you can just say animatronics. People know what you're saying.
But when I skip 3 sentences in the script, you're like, oh, well, you're skipping a bunch of stuff. What are you talking about?
Time that went into those. Of course.
That's just because I just missed my place. They created a reference figure first to get all the details right and then use that as a guidance for building the animatronic. Again, it just says animatronic in the script. Imagineers really emphasized how creating this animatronic really had to be handled differently. In the past, animatronics were meant to be viewed from a distance. But now that everyone has a camera in their pocket where they can crisply zoom in, not these cameras can't crisply zoom in, they had to get the details in. Tom, our boy Tom Fitzgerald, said, there are many, many what we call moonshots of things we have never done before that the team tackled. Moonshots are advancements in the animatronic form. Everyone just started countering.
Animatronic art form.
Art form and technology. With the recent technological progress, Imagineering felt that they could faithfully create a believable Walt Disney figure, but they had to push new advancements to recreate certain traits that would convey Walt accurately. The team studied hours of footage to determine what made Walt, well, Walt.
Our man, Walt.
As Walt said, we keep moving forward. That quote just like lives in my head because
at the beginning of this episode.
Yeah, because I can hear him saying they use it for a lot of things. Because I mean, it is a very relevant and good quote.
It encapsulates everything about Imagineering.
Yeah, keep moving forward.
I mean, even with the movies too. That's what Walt was all about with any project he tackled.
And this show is a clear illustration of that. Fitzgerald added. The audio animatronic
this
figure.
is a quote from him. He has to do the full audio animatronics.
I wasn't going to say anything, Emily, but you felt the need to interject. The audio animatronic figure of Walt will incorporate features and innovations that have been never achieved before. It'll be the most lifelike human figure we have ever created. This project has been a labor of love for the teams of Imagineers on which we hope we hope Walt would be proud of.
Yeah, these moonshots are very important when it comes to this show, and I think we'll talk more about them next week so we don't give anything away.
You know, I was just thinking, something popped in my head while I was reading that other new fun fact you told me about Exitensio.
Which one?
The one with my favorite dude. Is you? Yeah, my favorite dude, Figment over there.
Oh. Do you want to lay out that fun fact then?
I'm just gonna say, people, be aware, be ready for an Exitensio deep dive sometime in the near-ish to medium term future. Emily is
I
on
love
the Existencio. But he, fun fact, final design touches for Figment.
Absolutely. He's the reason we have the purple dragon. The look of the purple dragon.
I know, that's what I didn't want you.
Oh, you were like silent.
I don't know.
You're staying around in his face. Did
All right.
I lose you for a second?
Let's talk about our last thing for the day, using the past as inspiration for the future, which is something very relevant because they literally use the past as an inspiration for the future and doing great moments with Mr. Lincoln.
And, in Dinosaur, they kind of almost use like a quote similar to this. It's like, the past is truly in the future.
Whoa, dinosaur
Or we know the
reference?
future is truly in the past. Which
Hold
one?
on.
That's what I made me
A
think
dinosaur reference in a Walt Disney animatronic episode? What
of.
is
The
this?
future is truly in the past. That's how she ends the video, the pre-show.
Really? A dinosaur? Is that right? Still kicking around?
Yeah, they haven't said when it's officially closing. It's hanging on.
Emily's got a solo trip to Disney World
Please stay open.
planned.
Please stay open. Please stay open.
For February, which a lot of you are probably like, what? She's going in February by her very lonesome.
It hasn't been officially decided yet.
Oh, don't give me that. You know you're going.
Stay open in February. Please stay open in February. All right, let's talk about
Yes.
the inspiration for future projects looking towards what was done in the past.
Yes. Before we end this episode, we'd like to circle back to the question of would Walt approve or what would he think of all this? One direction we like to take this thought is by looking towards the past and what Walt did when he was around. What he was passionate about and felt was the right call when it came to innovation. And that, my friends, was his decision to pursue great moments with Mr. Lincoln. We're all friends here, right?
Of course we
The
are.
same historic show that Walt will never share the stage with, and will now share the stage with, with in the Opera House. Abraham Lincoln was a hero to Walt Disney, and he idolized him. And Walt felt that people of the 1960s and the generations onward should have the opportunity to be in the presence of the great man that was Abraham Lincoln. He was a great man, very pivotal man in the history of America. Basically, we wouldn't be here if it wasn't for Abraham Lincoln. He also,
Is he also your idol?
no, I'm just, it's just considering what we're talking about with Abraham Lincoln. It's, he was president at a very traumatizing and very important time in American history, a time where, two brothers basically were fighting. One wore blue, one wore gray. I like to joke about that song, but it's literally a very specific thing. A civil war, obviously, civil war has been a thing in a lot of countries' history, and we did have our bout with it. And if you don't have the right president at the time or the right leader at the time, not even president, I guess leader is more relevant. We may not be here in the same capacity that we are now.
Never know.
He's a very pivotal figure in American history. I can totally understand the idolization of him. It makes a lot of sense to not lose sight of your past, because if you do, you're doomed to repeat a lot of that.
Is Great Moments with Mr. Lincoln one of your favorites in Disneyland?
Yes, it is.
I do too. I didn't. When I was younger, my dad always wanted to do us as kids.
Yeah.
We're like, no, we want to go on Matterhorn. We want to do more exciting things. As I've gotten older, I a lot from, of course, the history, the historical aspect of what it meant for the parks, the technology, what it meant to Walt Disney, and of course, the person that it's teaching you about and is putting in physical form in front of you.
Yeah.
It means a great deal to me now. I'm so glad that they still keep it around, that they honor it just as much as like Walt Disney does. To the company, it's something very important. I'm glad that they hold it up to that high standard, because I know probably for the average guest, it's not going to be the heavy hitter when they go to the parks, but I'm so glad that it stayed and it will always stay there. I think it's incredibly important to have something like that.
That Hall of Presidents,
I love Hall of Presidents.
American Adventure.
Love American Adventure.
Like some of my, I'm just old apparently, but
Yeah,
those
we're
are all
just
some
old
of,
people.
some of my favorite experiences.
We like the nice AC, sit down and learn some history.
Well, I'm a big history buff, or
Mm-hmm.
at least I used to be in my younger years when I was growing up.
Well, there's a big purpose
History
behind these
channels.
shows too. I can appreciate that.
Where they went in the Alien Spectre. Used to watch a lot of the History Channel. And
Nerd.
okay. No one okay.
I like nerds,
Yeah.
clearly.
Wait, am I nerd or am I
Okay,
a
where
geek?
were we?
I don't even know. We were talking about Abraham Lincoln. He also felt that the best way to get younger folks interested in Lincoln and bring his story to life was through the innovation tech of animatronics, and one of the very first animatronics, no less. So why not bring Walt to life in the same way Walt brought Lincoln to life for his guests?
Very, very important question to think about.
Now, we have discussed the objections in depth. This is all technically supposed to be part of the last episode.
It was.
FYI. And we've made 2 hours out of both of these. That was like an hour and a half episode.
As it should be. I think this is
So
incredibly
this is now
important.
a trilogy of episodes. Again, we discussed the objections that Walt never wanted this for himself, that even those in the Disney family didn't want this. We can't take away or discredit the validity of the Disney family's opinions. There's also those within the Disney family that are in support. Everyone's feelings matter when it comes to this project. We're not here to say what's right and what's wrong, but rather try to look at the whole picture as best we can and see whether the intentions behind this were pure. I think that's the key thing.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, everyone is concerned behind the intentions and why they're doing this. So what we do know is that Walt was very modest and humble. I have that in common with him, man. My very own wife gave me a compliment this morning,
Just
and
this
it
morning.
gave me the ick. I literally was like, "Ugh, no, stop that." I can't believe I just used the word ick. I'm trying to connect with the younger generations. I'm trying to blow this channel
You
up.
know what's also a really great phrase to use? I think that's very relevant to what we're trying to point
Yeah.
out with all these opinions, no matter any Disney project. It's like, don't yuck other people's yum. Like, if people want to like something and are excited about it, you don't have to go out of your way to make them feel bad and say you're wrong.
Yeah,
Just like, let people like what they want.
There's too much of that.
Too much of that in this world. Just let people enjoy what they want. You don't have to ruin it for them.
Now, as I was saying, me and Walt have something in common. We're both incredibly modest and humble. I think me
Don't laugh.
I think me saying I'm incredibly modest and humble does
It
not
takes
really
away from it.
doesn't
and you
really-
go,
doesn't
and then
really-
you go, hey, and we keep the camera.
doesn't really match, but in real life,
No,
that's what happens.
You really are. I try and give one comment, you like look away, and you're just like, thanks.
Yeah. So why we can't say, and no one really can say 100% for sure, since he's no longer with us, we just don't know. But I think we just think back to his reaction to how weirded out he was to be handed a bust of himself from Blake Gibson, which I think is a very normal reaction and how most people would feel. I would tell you what, if Emily got a bust of me and handed it to me, I'd be like, what are you doing to me?
Ick. It'd give you the ick.
Yeah. Imagine if someone told you that you were being turned into an animatronic. It's just a strange concept. I'm sure when they approach Hondo and Naka, they're like, hey, Hondo, we're going to make a animatronic of you. He's like, what? I'm not a real character, so it doesn't matter. I don't know. I certainly
It's like,
wouldn't.
go get that important cargo.
I think I'm going to make an animatronic out of Emily. But
No.
It's going to be made with like toothpicks and bubble gum because that's the only thing I have here in the house. But it was good natured and done to inform and inspire fans and those who may not know much about Walt. Then it's something, at least in our opinion, that we're all for and have always been all for. I'm interjecting myself into this because Emily used the word I a lot, and I would hate to take away her stuff.
Is that how you feel or no?
Yes, it is how I feel. But when you wrote the script, you did it from the first person and not from the
Well, I just
new.
I know you though.
Yeah, not from the new of us. You know, the Nous
Mhm.
of both of us.
Mm-hmm.
That's probably not the right grammar for that.
I do think this is an important thing to keep in mind. It's like when you ask someone when they're alive, hey, we want to make you into an animatronic. They're probably like, that's weird. You know? But I think looking at it, we can't ask him, obviously, but if you had a lot of really important contributions, a lot of people look up to you, you're their hero. And the group of Imagineers who probably the reason they've got into Imagineering is because they very much idolize and admire all the work from Walt Disney. I don't think you can get into Imagineering if Walt Disney isn't a hero to you. And them wanting to do this project to honor him and inform the public about who he was. Like, we can't say if he changed his opinion, but You know, it's a different thing rather than being, hey, look at our founder, rather than, hey, this is the person that created all this. It's important to never forget all of this. I think that changes the conversation a little bit.
And to be fair, who knows how this would have shucken out if he was a bit older and around in this time? Because now we build statues of people
Yeah.
outside of sports stadiums and put busts of them inside the Hall of Fame. And, it's more normalized now
Sure.
that you can be, while you're still alive and kicking, kind of immortalized in statue form for a lot of these sports people, right?
Mhm.
Or building statues. There's a lot of statues built for them. So it's more normalized in that vein. So who knows
It's
if,
just it's important to come at these conversations. It's not, at least to me, it's not so black and white.
mhm,
There's a lot of topic up for discussion. And
yeah.
you just don't know. You can't say, oh, because he said this, or allegedly that's what he had said to Sam McKim. People change their minds. We don't know. And I think the most important thing when it comes to projects like these with Walt Disney, it's what is the purpose behind it? And we've discussed that. It's clearly to make sure people never forget. And I think that's incredibly important, especially in today's day and age with the parks.
Yeah.
Like, I'm also thinking back to a good example with Walt Disney World's 50th anniversary. They had the big fireworks show for that anniversary. They had no mention of Walter Roy initially. Later on, they had gotten complaints like, why is there no mention of the people that we have to thank for creating this park? They're the reason this is here. It was Walt's idea, and Roy was the one that carried it out as like his brother's final wish and basically put everything into it and shortly passed after Magic Kingdom opened. And there's no mention of them at all paying tribute, and they added it later on. It's like, good, like they should be mentioned. To me, it feels like a disservice not to honor them and just ignore it and make it an unspoken thing for anniversaries. And instead of just putting Disney characters in, I think it's a lot more meaningful to put the people's faces front and center, remind everyone this is why all this is here. There's a history to all of this. This is all important. It matters. So to me, I feel like that's the better way to go about it, is to insert people like Walt Disney and Roy and tell the history, let people know and never let them forget. I think that's incredibly important. I think it does the opposite of being something that's disrespectful.
I couldn't say it better myself, Emily.
Oh my gosh. Now you need to go, where were we?
Now, where were we? So as Emily was just literally saying, what is clear, this project is meant to pay respect to the person those in Imagineering have probably admired most in their careers. There was enough of a strong belief in the company to do this, and that's why they signed off on it. What we find especially cool is that it's also the same format as the Lincoln Show, a film followed by an animatronic Lincoln. They complement each other perfectly.
So yes, now with the Walt Show, they show an entire film, like 20 plus minutes maybe.
Is the film that long?
I think so.
Oh, wow.
Well, actually, no. I think the show's 16 minutes. So maybe it's not 20. Maybe it's like
12 minutes?
12 minutes, and it's about like 3 minutes or so with the Walt animatronic. I think it's really great that they're taking the Lincoln Show, as an example and translating that now into Walt. And they have this turntable they can share with each other.
So I just hope I get to see two brothers. One more blue.
You will eventually.
And one
You will
more
eventually.
gray. I won't be going to Disney World for a while, actually.
It's probably true. Oh, sounds like someone wants to go to Disney World.
Well, I just want to see my American Adventure.
And then the new Walt animatronic at some point. I'm curious
That'll
when that
probably be a
will
while,
open.
yeah.
Well, who knows? Because we mentioned this last week. The turnaround time for the Walt animatronic at Disneyland, it was very fast. They announced it 2024 August. It opened July 2025, so less than a year.
Could already be built. Be practically there.
Practically there. So it could be soon. Who knows? They just haven't given an actual opening date yet.
So just as Walt paid homage to his hero all those years ago, Imagineering has followed suit and is paying homage towards their hero. Just like Lincoln was a technological marvel, Imagineering with this Walt animatronic is doing that again by pushing the animatronic advancements as far as they can go right now to tell Walt's story and remind guests who this man was and where this company all started. Why don't you say this part?
Okay.
Because this is probably coming from your heart.
Very much so. I am the one who wrote it.
Yeah.
So to me, that's a very lovely and beautiful thing. And it's something that's always been needed, especially in a place like Disneyland, Walt's first park, the only park he ever actually walked through. And now the same building as Lincoln features for the very first time an audio animatronic figure of Walt Disney, advancing technology that he pioneered 60 years ago at the 1964 New York World's Fair. Like, it's perfect poetry to take what Walt did and he felt was right, taking someone like Abraham Lincoln, who he really admired, and put that into the world of technology to get the attention of audiences. And now Imagineers are doing that with their own hero to make sure audiences also will never forget Walt Disney, have them share the stage with each other. To me, that's a really beautiful thing.
Yeah.
And I love highlighting that because I can't really say how long it's probably been, but this is hands down the most thoughtful project I've seen come out of Imagineering in a very long time. And we need more of that. We need more of these projects that mean something in the parks, not just be. I love the IP. Don't get me wrong. I love that we're getting a Monsters Inc. land and Villains Land. Those are all very exciting. And I get I might be in the minority with some of these things just because my love really comes from the history and where it all started, the people behind these projects. I love the history, and that's part of what makes Disney so special and why people connect, because it has such a legacy. It's gone from generation to generation. There's that connection there. There's emotion tied with people to this brand. But I honestly get more excited about these kinds of projects over like a Monsters Inc. land. Like, doing a Monsters Inc. roller coaster is going to be really cool. I'm so excited. But if I can choose one or the other, I would much rather have money going into something like this. What?
Okay. I couldn't say it better myself.
Clayton, what are, don't just say that. What do you think?
I know. How am I supposed to follow that?
You can. What do
Are you
mean?
sure?
I'm already on the verge of crying.
I can hear you on the verge of crying over there.
Yeah.
No, I think it's a tremendous project. I think they've done it justice. I think the intent is clear to remind people of, the park while the park is a combination of a lot of great people's contributions and decisions and work together to, it's very much all parts of it, all the individual parts make up the whole, and that you can't, again, as from all cast, even your park operations experience, right, going down to all cast members makes such an important part of your trip and your experience there, and everyone goes out of their way to make it as, as magical of an experience as possible. But all in that, from a WDI and an Imagineering perspective, rides like Pirates and Mansion and Rise of Resistance and all this, there's so many people that work on these things. All these things are a combination. All the parts make up the whole. But at the very tip of that spear and at the very root of everything was one man who had an idea, and from very early on in the
I knew you had it in you. You just had to get it out. Keep going. You're doing so well. What do you mean you can't say about me? This is amazing.
There was one man who had an idea that would blossom into what Disneyland is, and has really defined what the modern day theme park experience is. A lot of people, or a lot of other parks, copy it in a way that, that the details and the theming is a very big draw and a very important part to your experience. And all that was pioneered by one man, basically, who had an idea for Disneyland, with a lot of people who said you're basically opening up a an amusement park. At the time had a very specific connotation,
Negative
Coney Island,
connotation.
negative, just, a very negative connotation. And he basically changed that into what we all attribute and know amusement parks to. And it's very fitting, in my opinion, that they're utilizing a technology that he himself championed and had the idea for. Um, and they pioneered that he is immortalized and given a way for other park guests to know that this all started from one man. Um, and
And hear about it from himself
yeah,
too.
and hear it in his own words, I think is the big thing. I think that's one of the biggest things is to hear it from him in a way that
Feels honest.
yeah, exactly. So I do think that in my opinion, the project itself is a great project, and I think that the execution of it and what they've been able to achieve with it is tremendous. I know that there are criticisms of some things and like
They're
that,
fair,
which is fine and perfectly fair, but
we'll get into next week. And you know
yeah,
what? I'll say it's not perfect.
yeah,
I think very rarely things are. But what they've accomplished, what they tried to do with this, it may not be perfect, but the way I walk out of it, it feels like perfection and the way it makes me feel. And to me, when something in a theme park can make you feel that deeply, that is well worth existing. It belongs being in Disneyland. And I'm glad there's another one that's going to be coming to the other coast. I think that's beautiful.
yeah.
And you know what? As you're saying, you made me think of something else, which is even more a great parallel
Hmm.
to make Walt an animatronic, where Lincoln was pushing the boundaries in innovation with animatronics and making this first human animatronic ever built. Now, what they've done with the Walt animatronic, and as Tom Fitzgerald said, they did these moonshots, so more advancements
Mhm.
in animatronic tech.
Yeah.
And it's very clear when you go see it. It is the most lifelike animatronic they have ever built. So again, it's pushing the boundaries. They did not play it safe. They could have. And again, that will make for discussion next week on pros, cons. There's drawbacks to trying to do that. But again, it's a huge step and leap. They did not play it safe. They really wanted to test the boundaries with what they could do. And I think that's great because that's exactly what Lincoln did as well.
I think with that, we will
Before
close off this week's episode.
before the tears start streaming down my face.
So I guess next week is our opinions, our thoughts, even though we've interjected those a lot. There's
we've got an idea. We'll get more into it though. We'll talk about the actual exhibit attached to Walt: A Magical Life.
Okay.
And then we'll walk everyone through what you can expect with the show. Like, we're not going to do a play-by-play on everything featured within the film. We're not going to say what quotes the actual Walt quotes, the audio that's used, but we'll more discuss our feelings on it. If we have any thoughts on whether it could have been done better, if there's room for improvement, what we like, our final thoughts, and also what you might want to pay attention to going into the show far as details are concerned, because I think that's a big thing as far as what to look for in this animatronic. So it's going to be a long one, I think. We have a lot to get into. I wouldn't necessarily say it's spoilers. I think the biggest spoilers, if you go and watch a video of the animatronic, we're going to give an overview and what our feelings were seeing this show multiple times and what to look out for when you go for yourself. And very important tip, where you should actually sit in the theater, because I think that makes a huge difference. So you won't want to miss it. Please come. We will be very honest. We'll give our full takes, and we won't just say like, oh yeah, it's the greatest thing they've ever done. We have suggestions too, I think, on maybe where they could change maybe a little bit.
Okay. Well, like we said, we're in Disneyland.
Woo!
Practically.
We're
practically there.
Disneyland.
Follow us on Instagram at Make a Magical Pod. We'll probably post some stuff from the run and some of the things. If you're, again, YouTube side, like, comment, subscribe.
If you're listening on a podcast platform, then make sure to leave a rating. Or if you're on Apple Podcast, we would greatly appreciate if you could write a review, and we'll go ahead and actually read that on the show. Anything you do to go out of your way to, whether, like Clayton said, doing all the things on YouTube, doing a rating review. It all honestly helps us out greatly. Every bit matters. So we greatly appreciate it if you can go ahead and do that for us. It's just a way to let us know you like what we're doing.
Yeah. And if you want to support the show, head on over to Patreon and join us over there. And we'd love to have you. Anything we make basically comes right back into the show. We're always trying to, we keep parallel my boy Walt. We keep moving forward.
Oh.
Or at least we try.
Keeps us curious.
We try. We stumble, but we keep moving forward, or at least we keep trying to move forward. I think with that, Emily, there's nothing further. So
remember to be kind to each other and
let's make it magical.
Bye, everyone.